There is Gout Gout. Quite a sensation, this young man. Australia love him, partly because of the name, partly because he is just brilliant. Who now expects Mena to lead into the straight, and Gout, their third from left, come back at him once they get into the straight. His first race as a pro in Europe, this from Gout Gout. Now he's got a target. Mena moving away from him, Morizzi in the headband. A battle between these two, and Gout working so hard to get to him, and he gets there. Gout takes it by a metre and moving away. 20.04. Battling all the way. The strongest part of his race is always that last 50. He holds his form so well. It's an optical illusion. It looks like he's accelerating, but he's not. Nobody does. Maybe Bolt did back then, but Gout wouldn't be, but he's holding his form. And as the others slow, as they tire, so he eases past them. It's a personal best for Gout, 20.02. We're just checking what the wind was doing in that. Zero wind, still air there. And Gout has taken it to Mena and said, anything you've got, boy, I've got more.
Australian athletics just witnessed something extraordinary. Gout Gout, a 17-year-old high school student from Queensland, demolished his own national record on his first race in Europe. The Golden Spike meet in Ostrava. Czech Republic became the stage for one of the most stunning debuts in recent athletics history. Gout Gout represents everything remarkable about modern athletics. Born in Ipswich near Brisbane to South Sudanese parents who immigrated to Australia in 2005, he stands as one of 7 children in his family. His name carries special significance, originally spelled Gout, before mistranslation from Arabic during his early childhood. The correct pronunciation is Gout, not how most people initially read it. This Queensland teenager still attends Ipswich Grammar School, balancing Year 12 studies with professional athletics. His parents fled Sudan for Egypt before eventually settling in Australia. The war-torn country of Sudan has never won an Olympic gold medal, making Gout's emergence even more significant for his heritage. The comparisons to Usain Bolt started early and continue growing stronger. Both athletes share remarkably similar physical attributes. Tall, slim physiques with distinctive long-legged, high-kicking running styles. Their shared love for Manchester United Football Club adds another parallel. Bolt himself acknowledged the similarities, sending an Instagram direct message saying, "He looks like young me after watching Gout's race videos." The Golden Spike meet in Ostrava provided the perfect stage for Gout's international breakthrough. This World Athletics Continental Tour Gold event attracted a sold-out crowd of 15,000 spectators. The teenager had to wait for a mid-year school holidays to make his professional racing debut in Europe. There is Gout Gout. Australia love him, partly because of the name, partly because he is just brilliant, commentator Tim Hutchings announced as the world watched this phenomenon for the first time. The race setup positioned Gout in lane 6, creating perfect timing for Wednesday morning television news shows back in Australia. His main competition came from Cuban Reynier Mena, who had won the last 2 Diamond League 200-meter races. Mena represented seasoned international experience against Gout's raw teenage talent. Gout delivered exactly what the athletics world hoped to see. He clocked 20.02 seconds in the 200 meters, improving his own Australian national record by 0.02 of a second. The legal win reading measured exactly 0.0 meters per second, making this performance completely legitimate. His victory margin told the complete story. Reynier Mena finished second in 20.19 seconds, a gap of 0.17 seconds. Britain's Nathaniel Mitchell-Blake claimed third place with 20.60 seconds. The dominance was clear and decisive. "I feel good, new personal best, new national record in my first European race," Gout told reporters afterward. "I don't feel any pressure because as soon as I step out on that track, it's just me by myself and what I've got to do, my favorite thing, and that's to run." The race strategy unfolded exactly as Gout predicted. Mena led through the first 100 meters as expected. Gout trailed by approximately 1 meter entering the final 50 meters. Then his signature strong finish took control. Commentary analysis revealed something fascinating about Gout's racing style. Tim Hutchings explained the optical illusion that makes Gout appear to accelerate while others slow down. Hutchings explained, "The strongest part of his race is always the last 50 meters. He holds his form so well, it's an optical illusion. It looks like he is accelerating, but he is not. Nobody does. Maybe Bolt did back then, but Gout wouldn't be. He is holding his form. As the others slow, they tire. He eases past them. This technical aspect explains why Gout prefers the 200 meters over shorter distances. I definitely like 200 more than 100 because 100 is a bit too short for me. You get the start, and then you're already at the finish line, he explained. I really like getting out and getting to my top speed and holding it to the finish line. So 200 is great and I love it. His race strategy centers on this strength. Gout acknowledges his starts represent his biggest weakness, but his finishing power compensates dramatically. If he stays within striking distance coming off the turn, victory becomes probable. Gout's personal best times across multiple distances showcase his versatility. 60 meters, 6.98 seconds. 100 meters, 10.17 seconds. 200 meters, 20.02 seconds. New Australian record. 400 meters, 46.20 seconds. The wind-assisted controversy adds context to his true speed potential. At the Australian National Championships in Perth during April 2025, Gout recorded times of 19.84 and 19.98 seconds in the 200 meters. Both performances were ruled illegal due to excessive tailwind above the 2.0 meters per second threshold. These wind-assisted times would have shattered the sub-20-second barrier. The legitimacy of his 20th.02 performance in Ostrava, achieved with zero wind assistance, demonstrates his capability to break that psychological milestone soon. His youth record collection spans multiple categories. Gout holds Australian under-16 records in both 100 and 200 meters. He set the 100-meter record at age 14 with 10.57 seconds. His 200-meter record came at age 15 with 20.87 seconds. The Bolt comparisons carry statistical weight beyond surface similarities. At age 17, Bolt's fastest legal time was 19.93 seconds, achieved 4 months before his 18th birthday. Gout's current best legal time stands at 20.02 seconds, with his 18th birthday still months away on December 29, 2025. The Ostrava connection creates additional parallels. Bolt made his European debut at this same meet when he was 17 years old, though he actually competed there first in 2006 at age 19, running 20.28 seconds. Bolt held the meet record of 19.83 seconds, set as a 21-year-old in 2008, when Gout was barely 6 months old. Current world rankings place Gout as the 11th fastest man globally in 2025. He moved from equal 7th to equal 6th on the all-time under-20 list. American Arion Knight holds the under-20 record with 19.49 seconds from 2022. Gout's psychological approach sets him apart from typical teenage athletes. His confidence borders on remarkable for someone his age. I don't feel any pressure, because as soon as I step out on that track, it's just me by myself and what I've got to do. My favorite thing, and that's to run. So, I just go out there and run and nothing stops me from doing that, he stated after his Ostrava victory. Previous statements reveal even greater self-assurance. When asked about attention following his breakthrough performance last December, Gout declared, "For me, pressure makes diamonds, and I guess I'm better than a diamond." His response to constant Bolt comparisons shows maturity beyond his years. Who doesn't want to be Usain Bolt? Being compared to Usain Bolt feels great, but I would like to put my personality in the upcoming story, he explained. I'm just me trying to be me. I do sometimes look like him, but obviously I'm making a name for myself, and I think I've done that pretty well. Gout's transition to professional athletics happened rapidly. After winning the 200 meters and 400 meters at the 2024 GPS Track and Field Championships in Queensland, he turned professional and signed a sponsorship deal with Adidas. His training evolution includes high-profile exposure. At the start of 2025, Gout traveled to Florida to train with Noah Lyles, the Olympic 100-meter champion and 3-time 200-meter world champion. Lyles' coach, Lance Brauman, identified areas for improvement, particularly noting the need for better starts. Noah gave him little hints here and there, added Di Shepard, Gout's primary coach who has worked with him since age 13. Shepard first noticed his sprinting ability when he was 13 years old. The Florida trip focused more on exposing Gout to high-performance environments rather than technical overhauls. Recent training improvements showed immediate results in Ostrava. I felt stronger in training these last couple of months, and I felt good since I got to Europe last Thursday, Gout reported after his record-breaking performance. Gout's immediate racing schedule builds toward major championships. His next appearance comes at the Monaco Diamond League meet at Stade Louis II on July 11, 2025. However, he will compete in the under-23 200-meter race rather than the open division. The World Championships in Tokyo from September 13th to 21st, 2025 represent his primary season goal. Obviously, the World Championships is the main goal, and I just want to see what I can do on the world stage against professional athletes, he stated. I just want to get out there and kind of prove myself. Before Tokyo, Gout must return to Australia for more Year 12 schoolwork. This balance between athletics and education reflects his grounded approach to career development.
The track here now, Gout gets up on John, moves past John, he can't be stopped, he is incredible, 10.17. 10.17. Oh, wow. He started behind the 8 ball.
At just 16 years old, Gout has done what many athletes spend their lives chasing, clocking an eye-watering 10.17 seconds in the 100 meters at the Queensland Track Classic. He didn't just break records, he shook the foundations of Australian sprinting. This isn't just a story about speed, it's about defying expectations, embracing identity, and setting sights on Olympic greatness. Gout's journey starts in Ipswich, Queensland. Born to South Sudanese parents who escaped a war-torn homeland, Gout was raised on stories of perseverance and grit. His parents, like many immigrants, faced cultural and economic hurdles, but were determined to give their children a better life. Their resilience was passed down to Gout, who would channel it into his athletic ambitions. Interestingly, his name itself tells a story. Originally spelled Gout, a simple immigration error changed it to Gout. Rather than correcting it, his family embraced the new identity. That name, unusual and often mispronounced, would soon be echoed in stadiums and headlines across the country. Before he was sprinting into record books, Gout was dribbling soccer balls across suburban fields. Like many kids his age, he idolized Cristiano Ronaldo, mimicking his moves and dreaming of football stardom. But fate had other plans. During a school athletics carnival in Year 7, Gout stepped onto the track and left everyone, including himself, stunned by his raw speed. It wasn't long before coaches and scouts began to take notice. Transitioning to full-time track training, he ditched the cleats for spikes. That decision, made in his early teens, would become the cornerstone of a legacy in the making. What amazed coaches even more was his natural running form, fluid, powerful, and uncoached. It was as if speed was wired into his DNA. December 20th, 24. The Australian All-Schools Athletics Championships. Gout lines up for the 100 meters, his face composed, his focus laser-sharp. What happened next would rewrite record books. He blazed through the heats in a wind-assisted 10.04 seconds, but in the final, with legal wind conditions, he delivered a staggering 10.17 seconds. That time wasn't just a win, it was a record. The fastest ever by an Australian under-18 athlete. What made this moment even more electrifying was the lit-up among his competitors. They knew they were witnessing something historic.
The track here now, Gout gets up on John, moves past John, he can't be stopped, he is incredible, 10.17.
And he wasn't done. The following day, he shattered the Australian national 200-meter record, clocking an unbelievable 20.04 seconds. That broke Peter Norman's 56-year-old record of 20.06. To put it into perspective, Peter Norman won silver at the 1968 Olympics and stood on the podium with Tommy Smith and John Carlos during their historic Black Power salute. Gout's time not only dethroned a legend, but symbolically linked two eras of athletic excellence. The reaction was immediate and global. Social media exploded with praise, international athletics forums lit up with comparisons, and Australian sports outlets declared him the next big thing. For a 16-year-old, it was dizzying. But Gout remained unfazed. He smiled, gave a humble nod to his family and coaches, and walked off the track, already thinking about his next race. Global comparisons began flooding in. Analysts pointed out that Gout's 200-meter time made him the second fastest under-18 athlete in the world, trailing only Ariane Knighton of the U.S. But perhaps the most mind-blowing moment came when Usain Bolt himself acknowledged Gout's talent. To be mentioned in the same breath as the fastest man alive, that's more than an accolade, it's a prophecy. As the hype grew, so did the opportunities. Gout signed a sponsorship deal with Adidas, a move that placed him alongside global sprinting elites. This wasn't just a marketing deal, it was a statement. Gout is here to stay. He became a figure not just in athletics, but in youth culture. Kids across Australia began mimicking his start stance. Hashtags in his name trended, and his races started drawing record online views. To sharpen his skills further, Gout traveled to Florida, joining forces with Olympic champion Noah Lyles and legendary coach Lance Brauman. It was a pivotal move. Training alongside professionals gave Gout not just the physical tools, but the mental toughness needed to compete on the global stage. "I am trying to show you what's up. I am trying to come out there with a bang," said the 17-year-old Gout after meeting and training with Lyles and his coach Lance Brauman in Claremont, Florida in January. The camp was intense, 2-a-days, strict nutrition, endless drills, but Gout thrived. In a behind-the-scenes video, Lyles was seen praising Gout's focus. "He's 16 going on 26, he joked. That kind of discipline, rare in teenagers, became Gout's hallmark. He returned to Australia with renewed energy, blazing through national events and setting new benchmarks. At one point, he clocked a wind-assisted 9.99 in the 100 meters and a 19.84 in the 200 meters, both blisteringly fast times that hinted at what's to come. Coaches began speculating that, with just a few more years of technical refinement, Gout could enter the elite sub-10-second club legally, a feat few Australians have achieved.
Gout Gout has broken the magical 20-second barrier as he took the 200-metre title at the Australian Athletics Championships in Perth. The teenager's biggest threat in the final was Lachlan Kennedy, who only just lost the 100-metre final to Rowan Browning last night.
Even prodigies face hurdles. At the 2025 Maury Plant Meet in Melbourne, Gout faced a rare defeat in the 200 meters to fellow young star Lachlan Kennedy. But rather than sulking, Gout took it in stride. "It's part of the process," he said. "You win, you learn, you grow."
Moment, Kennedy's in front, Gout's coming hard, very, very hard, Kennedy's won!
That mentality is part of what sets him apart. He's not just chasing times, he's building a mindset for longevity. With so much pressure and media attention, many young athletes crumble. Gout thrives. Every loss becomes a lesson, every challenge a motivator. His coach noted that after the defeat, Gout was the first to show up at practice the next morning. No sulking, no excuses, just work. With the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo around the corner and the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles in his sights, Gout has his roadmap laid out. Every race, every meet, every training session is a step toward those global stages. His goals? Break the 10-second barrier legally, win an Olympic medal before turning 21, and perhaps one day challenge the world record. Lofty dreams? Maybe. But for someone who's already broken national records and drawn praise from Bolt, nothing seems impossible. And it's not just individual glory he's after. Gout has expressed a deep desire to uplift others, particularly young athletes from refugee and migrant backgrounds. He's spoken at schools, participated in community clinics, and even launched a small online series where he shares training tips and motivational messages. His vision goes beyond the finish line, beyond medals and records. Gout's rise has inspired a new generation of athletes, particularly from immigrant and underrepresented communities. He's a symbol of possibility, proof that you don't need the perfect background to make it big, just talent, work ethic, and belief. His story resonates because it's not just about winning races, it's about rewriting narratives. It's about turning mispronounced names and overlooked beginnings into global headlines. It's about speed, yes, but also identity, ambition, and legacy. Gout has become more than an athlete. He's a cultural icon in the making. Gout Gout isn't just fast. He's transformative. From Ipswich school fields to national stadiums, he's carved a path few have dared to tread. And with every explosive start and powerful finish, he's proving that age, background, and obstacles are no match for raw talent and relentless drive. As the world watches his next moves, one thing is clear: this 16-year-old isn't just chasing greatness, he's redefining it. If Gout Gout's story blew your mind, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs a dose of inspiration. Want to see where his journey takes him next? Subscribe and turn on notifications, because this sprinting prodigy is just getting started.
Away, he got not such a good start tonight. Kelly just leads him from Kepagelli. Out wide, Cassiano and John. Now Gout starts to stretch away, and stretch away he does, and he's done it. He's broken the 10 seconds again.
At the 2025 Australian National Athletics Championships in Perth, all eyes were locked on a 17-year-old with a name you don't forget. Gout Gout. Coming off a blazing national record in the 200 meters and having already held his own against elite global talent, expectations were sky high. But what happened next? No one saw it coming. From the moment he stepped onto the track for the junior men's 100-meter semifinal, the energy shifted. Gout launched out of the blocks with his most explosive start yet. Head down. Perfect drive phase and absolute precision. With 20 meters to go, he eased up, clearly conserving energy. But even then, he stopped the clock at a jaw-dropping 9.99 seconds. Only 7 junior athletes in history have ever run sub-10 in the 100 meters,